back. Sources tell Fox News House Democrats could draw up to 4 articles of impeachment against President Trump. They would include abuse of power, bribery, contempt of Congress, and obstruction of justice. The timetable for moving forward with the process is unclear. Let's bring in one of the key figures in the public impeachment hearings these last 2 weeks. House Intel Committee ranking member Devin Nunes joins me right now on the telephone. Congressman, it's always a pleasure to have you. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks a lot, Maria. Great to be with you this morning.
A lot to talk to you about. You were right there in the room, ranking member, in Intel, in these hearings. I want to get to all of that in a moment. But first, let's get to these attacks on you. There are a lot in the mainstream media saying that you had meetings in Ukraine with the prosecutor. What do you say about this?
Well, I've been used to this for the last 3 years. The House Intelligence Committee Republicans, we continue to expose Democrat corruption over and over again. And what always happens is right when we expose them, what do? They go out to kill the messenger. So this week, another fake news story. The problem with this week's fake news story is we actually caught them. And we caught them badly, and it also involves criminal activity. And so what we're going to do, I gave a statement out on Friday night, we are going to take both CNN and the Daily Beast likely into federal court right after Thanksgiving. And we hope they cooperate, because we're also going to be working with the appropriate law enforcement authorities, because it is not okay to work with someone who has been indicted on serious federal crime to build a media narrative and dirty up a member of Congress. So look, Maria, you've seen it. The American people have seen it over the last 3 years. We out them, and then they come out with a media narrative to try to dirty up the people who are doing the work on behalf of the American people. So we hope that CNN and Daily Beast will cooperate with the court. They should comply with the subpoenas once we file this and go through and sit for deposition.
So
fun.
Congressman, this is a story which comes from Lev Parnas, who of course, as you know, is an former associate of Rudy Giuliani, who says that you met with the prosecutor Shokin in Vienna. Bottom line, were you in Vienna with Shokin?
Yeah. So look, Maria, I really want to answer all of these questions, and I promise you I absolutely will come back on the show and answer these questions. But because there is criminal activity here, we're working with the appropriate law enforcement agencies. We're going to file all this. Everyone's going to know the truth. Everybody's going to know all the facts. But I think you can understand that I can't compete by trying to debate this out with the public media, right, when 90% of the media are totally corrupt. And because this is criminal in nature, and because it's so bad, it's so slanderous, we've got all the facts on our side, and we're going to file in federal court, because I'm not going to sit here and try to compete against the media that I have no chance of winning with. I will win in court, and they'll have a chance to cooperate, and they'll have to show how they worked with somebody who's been indicted, which is likely conspiring to obstruct justice.
So I want to just be clear before I move on. I got to get your take on the impeachment hearings, but just to be clear, you're saying you're suing CNN, you're going to sue Daily Beast. I know you've sued Twitter in the past. You think this is going somewhere? You're telling me that CNN committed criminal activity?
Well, it's very likely, or they're an accessory to it, right? So none of this is true. It's what I've said. My statement is it's demonstrably false. We'll get to all the facts when it's filed in court. So but somehow they're either witting or unwitting of listening to somebody who's been indicted, and not only that, but it's their lawyers. So you're talking about third and fourth hand hearsay to do what? To dirty up the leader of the Republicans on the Intelligence Committee that just destroyed their complete narrative that they've been pushing, this new Ukraine hope they've been pushing for the last 2 months.
Yep.
I think the American people see through it. And look, the sad part is I'm the last guy that wants to go into the courts, but the media has become totally corrupt. that now they're willing to actually engage and help with criminals, indicted criminals. These people are sick, and the only way they're going to be held accountable is through the court system. And it's the only chance I have to actually get the facts out for the American people, because they can't lie to a court.
Let me go back to the impeachment hearings. In a few minutes, we're going to be speaking with your colleague,